Hello dear students, in the previous session we were discussing the concept of range and summation conventions, right? There are two types of conventions. One is range conventions and another one is summation conventions. So range summation is nothing but giving the range to your suffix, say 1 2 3, right? Summation convention is nothing but taking summation over a suffix. So here k is dummy suffix and it has a, we have taken a summation over k, so this is nothing but your summation conventions, right? So now let's discuss the next topic, that is the symbol delta ij. You have come across about this symbol even in your ordinary differential equations, right? This symbol is nothing but, we call this as Kronecker delta symbol. We have seen this. So how we can define this symbol is, if I consider a base vectors, say e1, e2, e3, these are all base vectors, and we can call the same thing as unit vectors. Base vectors e1, e2, e3 or the unit vectors. This is directed along the axis are x1, x2, x3. That means pictorially I can represent that as, this is x1, x2, x3 axis. Along x1 I have a base vector or unit vector e1, here it is e2, here it is e3. So directed along the axis x1, x2, x3 respectively. Okay. So now since we usually assume the axis in rectangular, this yields a relation e1 dot e1, e2 dot e2, e3 dot e3. This will be equal to 1, and e1 dot e2, e2 dot e1, e1 dot e3, e3 dot e1, e2 dot e3, e3 dot e2 will be equal to 0. Okay, so I repeat, we are defining a delta ij symbol. In order to define delta ij symbol, I have considered base vectors, which are nothing but your unit vectors directed along axes x1, x2, x3 respectively. So now we are defining e1 dot e1, e2 dot e2, e3 dot e3 will be equal to 1, and e1 dot e2, e2 dot e1, e1 dot e3, e3 dot e1, e2 dot e3, e3 dot e2 is equal to 0. So these 9 relations, we have 9 relations here, right? These 9 relations may be represented in a condensed form. That is nothing but delta ij is equal to, you can observe here, delta ij takes two values. One is 1, another one is 0. So it takes the value 1 when I and j take the same value, right? That means your suffixes, if your suffixes are equal, then your delta ij value will be 1, and 0 if I and j takes the different value. You can observe here, I and j are not equal in these 6 relations, so your delta ij value will be 0. That means we can express that as delta 11 is 1, delta 22 is 1, delta 33 is 1. Similarly, delta 12, delta 21, delta 13, delta 31, delta 23 and delta 32 will be 0. So this is how we can write the 9 relations in a condensed form. This is nothing but condensed form. That means you're generalizing your relations. Okay. Now using base vector you can express your delta symbol. You can observe here delta ij is equal to ei dot ej, right? If I is equal to j, this will become 1. If I is not equal to j, delta ij is equal to ei dot ej will be 0. This is how we can connect our condensed form of relation with a base vector. Okay. One important property under delta symbol is delta ij always it will be equal to delta ji. You should remember this. Okay. So now if I want to apply summation convention on delta ij symbol, we can express that as delta ii is equal to delta 11 plus delta 22 plus delta 33, right? This is for the case when I is equal to j. So I is dummy suffix. Now you will apply summation over this so that you will get delta 11 plus delta 22 plus delta 33. The value of delta ii is 3, right? Because delta 11 is 1, delta 22 is 1, delta 33 is 1, which gives you 3. We can express our delta ij in a unit matrix. So we usually say that delta ij are the elements of the unit matrix, and I will denote that unit matrix as I. Okay, so this is defined as your unit matrix defined as I, which is equal to delta ij. So the position will be delta 11, delta 12, delta 13, delta 21, delta 22, delta 23, delta 31, delta 32, delta 33. Substitute the values 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1, right? So if I consider the determinant of delta ij, you can observe determinant of delta ij is nothing but 1. If you find determinant for this matrix, you will get 1. So this is all about your delta ij symbol. Okay. Now we will consider some example which gives you the condensed form of equations. Okay. So I will consider one example, that is a11 is equal to alpha into b11 plus b22 plus b33 plus beta b11. A22 is equal to alpha into b11 plus b22 plus b33 plus beta b22. A33 will be alpha into b11 plus b22 plus b33 plus beta b33. A12 is beta b12. A23 is beta b23. A31 is equal to beta b31. A21 is beta b21. A32 is beta B32 and A13 is beta B13. This is the system of equation. You can observe here we have 9 equations here. We have to write a condensed form for this equation. That means using range and summation convention, I have to write one equation. In that equation, if you give values to your suffixes, you should get all these 9 equations. That is nothing but condensed form. Okay. So now how we can write the condensed form for this equation? First, I will consider first 3 equations. If you observe your first 3 equations carefully, here 1 1 2 2 3 3 1 1 1 1 2 2 3 3 2 2 1 1 2 2 3 3 3 3. So we have a combination of your dummy suffixes, right? So if I consider first equation, that is A11 alpha B11 plus B22 plus B33 plus beta B11. This is first equation, right? I can write this as alpha, I will retain as it is. If I consider some suffixes here, that means I can write that as BKK plus I will retain beta as it is and B11 as it is. So if I give values to K, that means I can write this as alpha into summation K is equal to 1 to 3 BKK plus beta B11, right? This is nothing but alpha into B11 plus B22 plus B33 plus beta B11. So I can write this whole thing as alpha into BKK plus beta B11. But my condensed form of equation should gives me all the 9 equations. I have to write one equation such a way that if I give values to my suffixes, I should get all 9 equations, right? So for that, what I will do is, since I have an idea about delta ij symbol, we know that delta ij takes two values, one when I is equal to j, 0 when I is not equal to j. Let's implement this concept here. Okay, so we can write this as A11 is equal to alpha into BKK into delta ij plus beta B11. Even if I multiply delta ij to this expression, it makes no difference, because if delta I is equal to j, we will get this as alpha BKK plus beta B11. If I is not equal to j, we will get this as 0, right? So if I is equal to j, you will get this expression. If I is not equal to j, you will get this expression. You can observe that, right? For that, I should express this also in a suffix notation. So if you observe your second and third equation also takes the same process, but you will write that as A22 is equal to alpha delta ij BKK plus beta B22, and similarly A33 will be alpha delta ij BKK plus beta B33. Right? This is how you can express your first 3 equations. So now let's concentrate on this. A12 is equal to beta B12. Right? I can write this in this form like A12 is equal to alpha delta 12 BKK plus beta B12. Right? Since I is not equal to j, this whole term will be 0. So I will get A12 as beta B12 itself, isn't it? You can express these 5 remaining equation in the same way. Okay, so now combining first 3 equations with 6 equations, I can get one condensed form, that is Aij is equal to, here it is 1 1 2 2 3 3, here it is 1 2 2 1 1 3 3 1, like that, right? So what I am doing is I am considering two different suffixes ij. This will be equal to alpha into delta ij bkk plus beta bij, right? So if I is equal to j, you will get first 3 equations. If I is equal to j, you will get next 6 terms. So this is nothing but the condensed form of given set of equations. I hope this is clear. The second problem is, here they have given equation in a condensed form, right? This is nothing but condensed form. We have to express this equation in terms of Aij. Here they have given Aij in terms of Bij. We have to find out Bij in terms of Aij. For that they have given a data, that is beta is not equal to 0 and 3 alpha plus beta is not equal to 0. You can think why we have 3 alpha here, right? Because in the expression Aij is equal to alpha delta ij bkk plus beta ij. If I is equal to j, this will be alpha into delta ii bkk plus beta ij, right? So since I is dummy suffixes, if you take summation over I here, you will get this as 3 alpha bkk plus beta I is equal to j. So this is beta ii. I will convert this, this is beta bij, right? Beta bij. So this will become beta b. Since I is equal to j, I will convert I and j in terms of kk itself. So we can write that as k itself, right? So here I can take bkk common into 3 alpha plus beta. What they are telling is this 3 alpha plus beta is not equal to 0. If you just look at the condensed form, you may feel that this condition is not relevant to this equation. But if you go through simplifications, you will understand there is a meaning for 3 alpha plus beta is not equal to 0. Okay. Now let's try to find Bij in terms of Aij. Okay. So first what I will do is let's consider the given equation. This is the given equation. Call this as equation number 1. Okay. So now I can rewrite this equation as APP is equal to alpha into delta PP BKK plus beta BPP. Because since we are considering I is equal to j, I'm just making this value equal to some p, some other suffix. Okay. Now delta pp value is 3. We can write this as APP is equal to 3 alpha BKK plus beta BPP. This is also dummy suffix. This is also dummy suffix. So we can write this as 3 alpha plus beta into BPP. Right? So we have APP is equal to 3 alpha plus beta into BPP. If I want to write equation for BPP, this will be equal to APP by 3 alpha plus beta. Now observe this. If 3 alpha plus beta is equal to 0, then what will happen to BPP? Mathematically, you will get the value as infinity if 3 alpha plus beta is equal to 0, right? This makes no sense when it comes to continuum mechanics. For that purpose, we are considering that 3 alpha plus beta is not equal to 0. So now BPP is equal to APP by 3 alpha plus beta. From equation 1, we can rewrite equation 1 as Bij is equal to 1 over beta into Aij minus alpha delta Ij Bkk. Right? I'm just rewriting this equation. So if since we have interchanged the suffixes, Bkk is nothing but Bpp, right? So in this equation, substitute for Bkk, that is nothing but your Bpp. Okay, if you substitute the value, you will get 1 over beta into Aij minus alpha by 3 alpha plus beta into delta Ij APP. So now you have Bij in terms of Aij. This is how we express Bij in terms of Aij. Okay. I have one more similar problem. So if Ai is equal to alpha Ij Bj and Bi is equal to Bij into Cj, we have to write equation Ai in terms of Ci. Okay. So that is nothing but I will call this as equation number 1 and this as equation number 2. If I change the suffix from I to j and j to k, it makes no difference. I will change in this equation because here I have Bj. So I have to write equation 2 in terms of Bj, right? So Bj means we are changing I to j and j to k. Okay. So Bj is equal to beta into beta jk ck. Now I will call this as equation number 3. You can substitute this here, right? So Ai will be equal to alpha Ij beta jk ck. So this is nothing but we are expressing Ai in terms of C. This k, you may feel that in the question we have to express Ai in terms of Ci, but here we have expressed Ai in terms of Ck, right? Ck, Ci are one and the same because here C is a vector, right? We have taken suffix on vector and this K is a free suffix. Don't combine this with alpha Ij and beta jk. We are taking suffix over vector. Okay. So since this is a free suffix, I can change this to any form. So Ck and Ci both are equal. That means here I have expressed my Ai in terms of Ci. This is how we solve problems on range convention and summation convention, and also we relate the concept with a delta Ij symbol. In the next session, I will start with the substitution property of delta Ij symbol. Okay, thank you.